All right, we're coming to the last stretch. Ninth edition is right around the corner, and I'm still playing this game. This is a 2,500 point game between Warriors of Chaos and Vampire Counts. I'm using a different lore than I usually would use. I'm using the lore of Undeath just to try it out, just to see what happens. I'm definitely going to have to try more test battles. But anyway, I have a Chaos Lord. He has the Hellfire Sword. He's on a Juggernaut. He has the Helm of Eyes, which gives him always strike first, but also gives him stupidity. He has an Exalted Hero with him, a BSB, pretty much bare bones. He has a Charm Shield, and he has Luckstone. And my opponent has a Terrorgeist, a Lord on a Zombie Dragon, two of these ethereal things. I keep forgetting what the name of them are. In the middle there, he has a Ghoul unit, 2 Skeleton units, and a Zombie unit. Back over to my side, I have a Marauder Horseman unit and a unit of Warmongers and a unit of Forsaken. I get first turn and I move like this. I'm trying to actually bait some of his flyers to move where I want him to move, and but it's kind of difficult to do that with flyers because you really can't dictate where they're going to go, and if your opponent has a lot of flyers, it can really cause some havoc. So I move my Sorcerer like this. I'm trying to keep my Sorcerer protected so I can summon up things that I need. And so here in my magic phase, I summon up an Ethereal Swarm unit. I don't remember exactly what the name is. If anybody's watching this video and knows the name of it, just put it there in the comment bar. Well, I'll put it there so just in case I... Anyway. My opponent, he's using the lore of Undeath as well, and so this should be interesting. I'm having trouble trying to find where I'm going to put those Warmongers, because most tournaments, they have something dead in the center. But anyway, his movement phase, he moves his Ethereals out there. I would put my Ethereal there just because I knew he was going to try to bait the Skull Crushers. In hindsight, what I could have done was actually charge with the Skull Crushers, and then charge the Hounds into the Vargheist. And that would have actually put the Skull Crushers further forward, and also it got me closer to his main units. I wasn't thinking about that when I was playing the game. And over on here, this left side, he moves his Morghast over onto my flank over here, which is unnerving, to say the least. And I think that's a Lord on a Abyssal Terror, so that's not good. Yeah, I mean, I could have charged there, and I could have charged the Ethereal as well, maybe. No, I think Ethereal was kind of in the way once I summoned him right there for the dogs. So I probably could have put the Ethereal a little more front of the Skull Crushers, but I think that was as far as I could put him because you only have a range of 12. But anyway, he puts his Ethereals out there like that, so it pretty much locks my units down. It's kind of hard to play Chaos when you don't have any shooting or magical shooting to deal with stuff like Ethereals and Shaft. That's one of the drawbacks of playing with Chaos. You can't get rid of Shaft. You just have to roll over it somehow. But he puts his Vargheist out onto my right flank. He really doesn't have a lot of places he can put that Terrorgeist without exposing this Lord. So at least we got that going for us. I'm thinking in my turn I'm going to back up and face my Destroyer, so to say. But his magic phase was abysmal. It really he didn't do much with it. So that's it's going to be interesting over there on the left side, to say the least. All right, in my turn, I charge my Ethereal into his Ethereal, and I charge the Marauder Horseman into his Ethereal as well, because his combat resolution should pop that Ethereal. If my Ethereal actually hits and wounds on an average of 2 wounds, maybe, hopefully. It's a big if. It's a blurry picture. Sorry about the blurry pictures. But yeah. His Bat Swarms become a nuisance. Oh yeah, in my turn I also move my Forsaken into that building. I haven't started paint. Well, I've already started painting the Forsaken now, but now But for right now, in this video, he's in the building, and his coloring actually matches the building, which is also gray. So it's kind of hard to see. Just look at the blue circle. And then here's the close combat. It ends. The Ethereal dies. But now I have a bigger problem. Now my Ethereal's in the way of the Skull Crushers and the Hounds. I think the Hounds did get a charge off in my turn. They got charged off to the Skeletons. So at least I got the Hounds out of the way of my Knights. So it's unlikely that he'll charge those Vargheist into my Knights in his turn. Oh yes, and this is what happens to my poor Hounds. They took out a Skeleton before they got taken out, though. But I needed to clear them off the field, though, in order to get what I wanted to get to positions where I wanted to get to. But I'm seeing new positions now. That's the thing about doing a battle report. You get to see where you're messing up in real time. All right, and the Hound fled. They tried to chase it down. I actually would have rather they actually caught it. And at least that way I could charge my Ethereal into maybe his ghouls, and then charge my Skull Crushers into those Skeletons to collapse the skeleton unit. Alright, so this is my Forsaken facing his unit. Hopefully I'm thinking that one of his units will miss their charge over here, and I'll be able to countercharge with my Chariot. What I should have done is I should have piled the war gas out of the building, but I was trying to protect them so much that I actually screwed myself on a strategy that I could have used. In my turn, I rolled a 5 for what the Forsaken get, so they have not magic resistance. They have a regeneration of 5, which is okay. It's pretty good. It'll keep them alive. But let's say if I had actually brought those Warmongers out in my turn and faced to protect these Forsaken, it probably would have been a different fight over here on the left. And then I think this is a picture of him actually charging the Skull Crushers with his skeleton unit. And then I think there's a mixing picture here. Actually, I actually countercharged with. Or it might have been that I actually charged with the Skull Crushers. I ended up charging with the Skull Crushers somehow. And then charging with the Knights on the flank. I don't know how I did it, but it was done. Something happened. I think maybe in the magic phase, I think he might have killed my Ethereal. I'm not sure. To tell you the truth, it's been a couple of days. My Marauders get charged in his turn, also got charged by his Ethereal unit. Yeah, the Forsaken, they're not going to be around for much longer. I should have definitely piled those guys out when I knew that he was targeting the Forsaken. I should have piled those guys out to protect them, because there would have been no way he would have actually reached the Forsaken with his regular charge. So his actual charge would have taken him into them, and then the Forsaken would have countercharged, and the Chariot would have charged on the other side, and it should have crumpled up that Lord and the rest of those guys. Combat resolution would have went my direction. But hindsight is 20/20, and those bats, those little bats are going to be the bane of my existence for the Warmongers. He's not going to let those Warmongers actually do anything now. They had their window of opportunity. Now it's over. In the combat phase, the Chariot whiffed so bad, and the Marauder, those other guys did so terribly as well, and they get destroyed and run over. So, yeah. Thank goodness the Warmongers are immune to psychology. Oh. Yeah, that was pathetic there, actually. Over here, then in his turn, he moves his units like this, and this is where I get scared. But then there's a blade of light that shines, little dot of light that shines in my favor. He puts his Lord on the zombie dragon right in front of the Skull Crushers, thinking that the Skull Crushers wouldn't be able to charge. I decide I'm actually going to charge with my Chaos Lord and charge his Lord with mine. my lord does multiple wounds and ignores armor, so he has a really good chance of surviving and actually killing that lord. He puts his bats right in front of the warmongers. Again, I should have went ahead and charged the warmongers and then just let whatever happens happen. You know what I mean? If he would have hit me on the flank with those skeletons, I would have won combat. And then the next phase, I would have probably decimated that unit. They would have actually done something. In his magic phase, he brings forth a black coach. And in my magic phase, I forgot to even have the picture where I showed it. I actually raised up 20 zombies. That's what that little base is for. And actually ended up putting the not zombies, but skeletons. I actually put the skeletons out there. About 20 of them. I should have raised 200 points worth of zombies. I mean, that would have been a huge unit. That would have been even better. But yeah, the Chaos Lord kills his Lord, and I think something happens to his Terrorgeist where he takes 2 wounds, which is good because a wounded Terrorgeist is almost useless. He kills, in his turn in close combat, he kills my Marauder Horsemen. They're dead. He actually did charge the Skull Crushers in the butt. I don't like that, but I'm not scared of it really, because I do have my Skull Crushers actually run around with ranks the way I run them, so they're going to stick off of just leadership. He wants to scream my lord off, but I know once you get wounded like that, the Terrorgeist really has this low possibility of actually wounding a high leadership person. My knights, I didn't think they charged something. I'm not sure what they no, they didn't charge anything. They just moved around. They got out of the way of his chargers because he needs to take care of that Skull Crusher bus, and he needs everything he has to do it. So the knights can get away, so I can do something else with the sorcerer there. And in my magic phase, we're coming to, I think this is turn 5 or bottom of turn 5, top of turn 5, or it might even be bottom of turn 6. Top of turn 6, I raised up a Terrorgeist to try to scream down his Vargeist. I think that was the best placement for the Terrorgeist, the 3-headed dog from hell. That's my Terrorgeist. I think that was the best placement for him to try to scream off those guys. And I roll a 7, so that's not good. My Chaos Lord charges his Terrorgeist. He's going to kill that thing. 6, 7. He rolled in the Eye of the Gods. He got +1 attack, so that's 7 attacks, strength 5, ignoring armor, doing multiple wounds. So he should do well there. The Skull Crushers are holding. My Exalted Hero gets killed. I forgot that he had a Charmed Shield. I could have used the Charmed Shield and the Luck Stone, but I forgot that he had. I just used the Luck Stone and I failed my ward save, and he only needed 1 saved in order to live. And I forgot I had a Charmed Shield. If I remembered I had a Charmed Shield, it would have been different. The Skull Crushers probably would have held, because the Lord is way out of line. Well, he's not out of range. I think I rolled one time and it was 10 or something like that. And they failed their leadership, and they're going to end up getting flaying and getting run down, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. They might have actually survived. I'm not sure. But definitely the Exalted Hero is dead. But it ended up being a tie between, so that was good. And then I find out